All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to another one of our weekly webinars from the series. Today we're going to be talking about system platform best practices. I'm going to be going through the slides here. If you have any questions that come up during the presentation, go ahead and just type those into the questions section, and we will get to those at the very end. Today with me I have Arish Rojas and Stephen Rivas. They're going to be helping out with any questions and let me know if anything happens with audio or visual as well. So let's get started. All right, so the agenda for this webinar, we're going to be talking about where to install WIN-911, some prerequisites, configuration workflow, the alarming tab for subscriptions, galaxies, connections, and subscription routes. And then, as always, at the end, we'll have some documentation resources and also some what's coming up next from us. So jumping right into where to install WIN-911 if you're using system platform. So the most important thing to know about this is WIN-911 must be installed on a WIN platform that you can deploy with the InTouch alarm provider feature enabled and an MX access license. So as long as it's on a WIN platform that you can go out and deploy, that's where WIN-911 needs to be installed. Some prerequisites to be aware of for the installation. So you need an MX access license that's required. That is essentially what is responsible as the middleman for taking the acknowledgements that happen from WIN-911 and pushing them back into your system platform setup. And you can get the MX access license from our website for system platform 2012 and 2014. You can just go to our website, go to the support tab, and to support downloads. If you have support or system platform 2017, just go ahead and contact us. You can give us a call. Sales or tech support can give you an MX access license for 2017 if you can't get one from Wonderware. Another thing to be aware of here is security. So if you are using security in your Galaxy, you will need a dedicated user account and password to use for WIN-911. The password for that account should never change. If it does, WIN-911 will stop functioning. So if you're using security, you probably already have accounts set up. Those accounts you guys are using may or may not have a password policy that you have to change those so often, whatever you guys have in your environment. Ideally, you'll just make an account that WIN-911 will use forever, and it will not be changing, so you don't have to go back in and manually update any of those password changes in the WIN-911 workspace. Last prerequisite here on the list is the Wonderware Alarm Toolkit. So that is required so that the WIN platform acts as an alarm provider from the InTouch side, and we are the alarm consumer. System platform requirements. So this is the Wonderware Alarm Toolkit. If you open up your IDE, connect to your Galaxy, you can double click on your WIN platform and go to the properties. You can see here in this example, it's just called gr_platform. This would be your WIN platform that WIN-911 is installed on is what you're going into the properties of. And on the general tab, you're going to check the box for enable InTouch alarm provider. You can see that in the red square there, the red rectangle. Another note here, the box right under that red rectangle with the register using and then quotes Galaxy_Galaxy name. That's basically just if you have that checked inside your Galaxy settings, there's a matching box that you want to make sure is checked on the WIN-911 side, and we'll show that a few slides down. But just be aware of that. The main requirement is that you enable the InTouch alarm provider. So now we're talking about inside the WIN-911 workspace in the alarming tab and then your subscriptions. This is how you bring alarms into WIN-911. So in the workspace, alarming, system platform, subscriptions, this is where you're going to make your filters for what you want to bring in. So you can filter on the area, the object or attributes, and different priorities. So you can see there in the screenshot, specify the area or the object attributes or different priority ranges or just a specific priority set number. So essentially, you're going to be making the filters the way that you guys want for your environments. You know, bring in this specific range of priority, and then you'll assign that to a strategy, and you can make multiple subscription filters and assign them to different strategies if you need to do that in your environment. All right, so onto the Alarming Galaxies connection details. So this is the Galaxy connection, and you can see here in the screenshot the kind of watermark in the background of that name field. It says enter the name of the deployed system platform Galaxy exactly as it appears in your Orchestra IDE. So exactly what that says, make sure you put the exact same name here. That checkbox we just talked about earlier inside your settings after InTouch alarm provider is enabled, that's the box that's highlighted for enable Galaxy_Galaxy syntax. You have some options here for the ACK message method. So you can follow along. You have the append alarm comment with the ACK message. So you're gonna add that ACK message to the end of it, or you can replace the alarm comment with the ACK message, so it takes the place of it completely, or just use the alarm comment as the ACK message. If you have authentication, we just talked about security and that account that you're going to want to set up. You check that box for enable authentication, and you'll put in the username and password here. The checkbox for ignore comm alarms. And then at the end, the bottom there, the areas, you'll click on the plus sign and start adding your areas. One thing to note about this is that well, from Orchestra, they actually recommend deploying all of your areas underneath one main area, right? One parent area, and everybody else is a child area that branches off of that. And that way, if you want to filter for all of your alarms in all those child areas, you could just put the main area name, that parent area name, and it will find all of the sub areas, the child areas underneath that. So that way you don't have to add a whole bunch of areas that are just in parallel. You can just get all of them in one main area name. And there is a limit actually, and I don't know exactly what the set limit is for how many bytes that it can be for the length of the query. But if you add a whole bunch of areas in here, you're probably going to hit that limit. We will be having an update that we release at the end of July for our next main product release that will warn you if you reach that limit. So again, best practices, make all of your important areas off of a main area, so they are child areas. And onto Alarming Galaxy subscription routes. So where you just set up those subscription filters for what you want to see, this is where you're going to bring them in and apply them to the strategy. So you can see we're still in Alarming System Platform Galaxies. The next tab over after you put in those connection details is subscription routes. So this is blank right here, but you would just click on the plus sign and you would have an option to choose any of the subscription filters that you just created in the previous steps, and then assign them to which strategy you want, right? So this certain area goes to this strategy, or these certain alarm attributes goes to another one, or this area name, right? Whatever you want to specify, priority range can go to a different strategy. Or you can keep it simple and just have all alarms going to one strategy. We also recommend that regardless of how many filter subscription routes you want to set up here, while you're doing this for the first time, or if you're troubleshooting new alarms or just an issue in general with alarms coming in, you can add a catch-all at the very end of your list here, the very bottom, with all alarms going to a strategy of your choice, either the default or one that you've created. And basically these work just the same way as like a firewall rule list. So the first one that it matches, it's going to get caught by and go to that strategy. It's not going to hit multiple. So if you're having troubles with, the wrong call out list, the wrong tactic, wrong people getting notified, probably, a good chance that your filter isn't quite catching it with the right syntax or the right settings. So throw in all alarms at the bottom, and then you'll see that when the alarm comes in, if you pop open the log viewer, it shows you which strategy that alarm is hitting. And then you'll know, okay, well, it's not getting caught by the one we want it to, it's getting caught by the all alarms one. So go change your syntax for your filters there. All right, so pretty straightforward. Again, from the WIN-911 side, there's a lot that goes into system platform on the Wonderware side, but from us, that's pretty much it. We got some documentation and resources here. These will all be linked on the final page and also in the video on YouTube when we post it. So we'll have the install checklist, we'll have the network diagram for where to install, the quick start guide, knowledge base article, and how-to videos. Coming up next week, we're going to do some in-depth troubleshooting and some cool capabilities. That's our next webinar. And after that, it's going to be the GE Simplicity deployment setup recommendations. And as always, you can find any of the past webinars that we've done already on the webinars page of our website. Some cool things that are coming up that we're working on. Development is working very hard on a new desktop user interface. So instead of using the Internet Explorer webpage that the workspace is in right now, we're replacing that Silverlight UI with a WTF desktop application. It's going to remove that IIS dependency, decrease resource usage, don't have to use IE and Silverlight, which is always a plus. We're also working on some redundancy updates, so automatic failover to backup WIN-911 machine, and then syncing the configuration of the databases. If you don't know what that means, basically right now, if you have your active WIN-911 and your backup WIN-911, any change that you make to your active settings, you're going to have to go manually make those changes on your backup, or have your guys' own schedule where you back up the SQL databases and restore those, like maybe once a month or however often you want to do it. Restore those on the backup so that the configuration is the exact same. So they're working on some sync configuration of that, so it's going to automatically sync over to the other backup machine. We're also working on the OPC UA alarms and conditions. So right now we only support OPC DA, and UA is in the works. And just wanted to throw this in there as a reminder, the features that you can either upvote yourself if you see one you like, or create a new feature request if you want something added. It's at our website, features.win911.com. I believe if you just go to our website, at the very top, it's just submit feedback. And you can see here, there's the alarm announcer that's been shipped. We added that. We have that WIN-911 announcer now as a product, and Heartbeat for InTouch Edge. So if you have an idea, you have a feature that you want, go ahead and add it, or check out the ones that are already there and upvote the ones that you guys are most interested in, and it helps us drive these to resolution and then bring those to the products. All right, thank you so much for sticking around for this. I know it was short and sweet, but any questions that you guys might have, go ahead and post those in the questions section right now, and we'll get those answered real quick. All right, so first question here, are you recording this for sharing after? If yes, how can I get copy? Richard, so yes, we record all of these, and after we are done here, I'm going to go ahead and edit the video, and we'll get it posted. Usually it's posted within a day or two, so just keep checking back on our webinars page. Go to our website, for those of you that are sticking around. So if you go to our website, win911.com, go to resources and webinars. So here's all of our past webinars down here, and you can just come and check back in a couple of days, and it should be posted. Next question. Hi, sometimes WIN-911 heartbeat stops incrementing on my system platform. I have to restart the services WIN-911 system platform runtime. All right, so sometimes heartbeat stops incrementing on my platform. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure how to answer if that's a question of, if it's not set up right, or if you're looking for, instructions on how to set it up. We do have the documentation on that on our website as well. If you want to be a little more specific, Kari, about that, we can try to answer it better.
Yeah, I think that's something. This is Steven Rivas, the product manager at WIN-911. I think it's something we should start a support ticket for, and then we can get to the root cause of it. If it's working for a while, then it stops working. There's likely some access permission or some access issue through MX access that we're having, and we need to get to the bottom of that to resolve it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Steven. All right, Zachary. So yeah, if you're valid in support, go ahead and give us a call and get a support ticket going for that with that description. We'll take a look at it. Debbie asks, when is the new UI coming out? Oh, I have no idea if we want to speak on that. Revis, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. So I don't have a hard answer for that just yet. We're currently going through and we have designs and mock-ups that we've been reviewing with system integrators and end users to get their feedback on those mock-ups before we begin the actual development. So as of this point, we haven't actually started to write the code for it. Our goal is to have something available in some form by the end of the year. Right now, it's hard for me to estimate that, given that we're still in the review stages of the design, and depending on how those go, the requirements will change. And once we have the requirements nailed down, then we can provide a more accurate estimate. But you should start seeing more from us around toward the end of the year as we circle back and share more details about the UI. So currently trying to get something toward the end of the year, but don't hold me to that. It's again, it's hard to estimate at this point.
Thank you,
Hey,
Revis.
Jeremiah, would you mind going through the support tab and showing our customers that are still viewing these how to create a ticket on our website?
Yeah, sure thing. So if you guys want to create a ticket, again, go to our website, WIN-911.com. You can hover your mouse on the support tab and start a support case. You're going to throw in the required information here, give us some information, some descriptions about the problem, and submit. And that'll open up a ticket directly to our queue. Again, you need to be valid in support and provide us with your serial number, and if possible, if you have it, the software maintenance and support number. Another question here, what is the difference between interactive and advanced? From David. So that's a good question, and I'm actually just going to direct you to the how-to videos on that. So if you go to resources, how-to videos, we have down here on dispatcher, we have basic tactics and strategies and advanced tactics and strategies. I recommend watching both of those. The main difference is the fact that you get to make advanced tactics and strategies, and they work quite a bit differently than the basic ones. So get some more functionality and some better escalation process options out of those.
There's a under the product section, I think there's a matrix under compare products. So you can look there to see the actual license differences. And then basically interactive, you get basic tactics, and the advanced, you get advanced tactics and strategies as well. So that's the main difference. And that's why Jeremiah is pointing you guys to those videos so you can see the functionality differences other than just seeing it on this spreadsheet.
Right, yeah. So you do get more mobile app device licenses. So you can get 25 with advanced instead of 10 if you're using the mobile app, and then the advanced tactics and strategies. All right. I think that is actually the last question. So yeah, thank you guys for your questions. Thanks for sticking around. Again, we're doing these each week, so give us some feedback. Use the submit feature request option, which again, if you don't know where it is, just go to our website and send feedback here at the very top. This is going to take you straight to that feature request page. You can create your own.
Yeah, you got to click the link there for the feature request there, and then it'll take you there.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
These are the ones that already exist that you can upvote, or you can create your own. So, all right, thank you guys. Take care, be safe, and join us for next week's webinar.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.